To the newsroom, President Trump's doctor will be giving us an update on the president's condition right around the top of the hour. We will be carrying that live right here on KCBS, so you can stay tuned here for the latest. Buying a car online is likely a good option for a lot of us during the pandemic. However, as we hear from KCBS's Melissa Colross, we need to be extra vigilant when we're doing so and watch out for scams.
It seems like such a bargain, a car being sold online at a very cheap price because the seller says they need to get rid of it quickly due to a death in the family or for some other reason. But it's a scam, and John Navaria with the Better Business Bureau says when someone agrees to buy the car...
So again, it seems very convenient. So folks are paying money up front to get these cars that just don't exist.
This type of scam seems to be increasing as the COVID-19 pandemic continues. The Bureau's been getting reports from victims almost every day lately. It's working with sites such as Craigslist and eBay to remove the fake ads. Melissa Colross, KCBS.
3 UC Berkeley professors have gotten a $2 million grant for a project to better understand poverty in the United States. The 4-year grant to the California Policy Lab from the National Science Foundation will fund new data sets that combine things like tax records and CalFresh enrollments to try and analyze what kind of factors contribute to poverty. The researchers say the grant will help them better understand the complex social problems and potentially help develop better ways to help people in the future. Well, KCBS is featuring Bay Area heroes who are working to create positive change in their communities during the pandemic. And this week's Difference Makers report, Carrie Hudasek profiles an 8-year-old boy from Richmond who has set up a food stand to help people in need.
Every Sunday since the start of the COVID-19 outbreak, 8-year-old Eagle Jayagoda sets up a table on 34 facing hard times.
Canned food, spaghetti, rice and beans.
His mom, Achella, says the idea was inspired by Little Free Library's food pantry in town.
Eagle come up with the idea, Mommy, we can put a table instead of pantry. And we start to helping every weekend, every Sunday.
The family donated food from their own kitchen, and the idea caught on. Eventually, people from the neighborhood started giving back.
Our family, me and my husband, with Eagle and talk how we can help the community this difficult time. It's not like other times, we cannot go anywhere.
I started by doing like a little seafood table, and then I wanted to make it bigger and bigger.
When asked about why he wanted to offer a free food table, Eagle, a second grader at St. John's Catholic School in San Francisco, replied, "It's because everybody gets hungry."
I feel very happy and very excited about all the people who's taking the food.
Eagle's little free food table is definitely serving a need. His mom says people are regularly taking the table's food offerings. Soon the family plans to replace the table with a portable pantry that can hold more food.
Life is very uncertain, and people work so hard to get things. We want to really teach him to a very young age how you can help people.
Eagle Jayagoda, making a difference. Carrie Hudasek, KCBS.
If you know someone who's working to keep us safe during the pandemic and you'd like to nominate them as a KCBS Difference Maker, you can email us at differencemakers@kcbsradio.com. On to your Money News now on KCBS.
Normally this time of year, TV viewers are starting to enjoy the new fall TV shows on the broadcast networks.
On Monday, September 23rd, this channel opens an exciting new season.
But with the pandemic halting production back in March, this fall TV season looks very different.
A lot of the scripted dramas and a lot of the scripted TV is actually now getting pushed out closer to November or December.
Bloomberg intelligence analyst Geeta Ranganathan says networks are relying more on animated programs and reality TV, which are more convenient to produce. Already viewers stuck inside have seen some of these newer reality shows, which hit home.
Reality TV, I think a lot of the new spin that's happened during lockdown period is really how people are coping with lockdown. And surprisingly, that's been fairly well received.
Even though the scripted shows are delayed, broadcast TV is not hurting for viewers thanks to a thirst for news and live sporting events that were postponed because of the pandemic. I'm Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. So much, I'm going to have to speed things up. You can get the Farmer Signal app, and that could get you up to 15% off your auto policy. That's just for using the app and driving like the normal speed limited hearing, full stop, making lane change, signaling human being you are. Now for the legal something.
Not available in every state and discount varies. Only available with select Farmers branded policies. Subject to terms and conditions. Underwritten by Farmers Drug and Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
When kids need to see their pediatrician, it's rarely convenient. With 65 Bay Area locations and virtual visits, Stanford Children's Health makes world-class pediatric care incredibly convenient. For a virtual visit or a location near you, visit stanfordchildrens.org.
It's Jane, and if you're looking for a spooktacular new tradition this fall, look to KiwiCo. KiwiCo has hands-on art and science projects for kids of all ages delivered to your doorstep. With KiwiCo, kids can build a glowing pendulum, create a scratch art lantern, explore kid-friendly chemistry, and more, all from the comfort of home. Everything you need to make STEAM seriously fun, delivered monthly to your doorstep. Get to kiwico.com/local today to save 30% on your first month. That's KIWICO.com/local.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We're looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard and make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at Amazon.com/apply. That's Amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Wildfire season is here. Learn about PG&E's Community Wildfire Safety Program and what every Californian should know to stay safe by listening to Preparing for Public Safety Power Shutoff. Listen to this podcast at radio.com/wildfire.
Remember your kid's first bike ride with no training wheels? Remember the moment you let go and she pedaled her way to freedom for the first time? You were filled with pride and terror. Now she's 16 on her first solo drive ever. But this time, she's driving a Honda Civic. Packed with a standard suite of Honda sensing safety features like Honda Lane Watch to keep an eye on every turn, as well as Apple CarPlay navigation to help her find her way. And, right, young lady? It's no wonder the fuel-efficient Honda Civic is the car family's trust for that first ride, and everyone after that. Right now, everyone can secure a great deal on a 2020 Civic, but it'll be gone in a flash. Visit your Northern California Honda dealer or NorCalHondaDealers.com. Honda is family. Ask anyone who owns a Honda.
And at 7:58, with a check of traffic, we have some sort of roadwork delay in San Jose. Here's Peter with the details.
Yeah, this one popped up a little while ago. It's in San Jose. It's on the connector, southbound 680 to both north and southbound 101. That's been shut down until 3 o'clock this afternoon for graffiti removal. If you're southbound 680 and you're thinking 101, take Alum Rock instead. You'll have on and off ramps to both directions of 101 right at that point. Another alternate to consider for those of you wanting southbound 101 from southbound 680, you can take King Road, southbound to Story Road, and then back to 101 from there. I can't see the Alum Rock alternate here is beginning to fill in a little bit, but still, it is a good choice. The Golden Gate Bridge, Highway 101, started on the southbound side of the bridge. It's a pickup truck that lost control. Now it's on the center divide on the northbound side near the toll plaza. Next traffic update, 8:08, traffic leader, KCBS.
And we have hazy sunshine expected around the Bay Area today with temperatures mostly in the 70s and 80s. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News. One of KCBS, things are actually looking better for firefighters attacking the glass fire.
It appears that the winds that were predicted did not surface as of yet.
And I'm Doug Sovereign with the medical mystery surrounding President Trump. Why is he already in the hospital and receiving emergency experimental treatment?
And President Trump's doctor set to give an update on the president's condition any minute. We'll break in with that when it happens.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, a radio.com station.
It's 8 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Capital One Bank.
I'm Allison Keyes in Washington. We're expecting an update this hour from President Trump's doctor as he spends his first full day at Walter Reed Medical Center as he battles the coronavirus. That's
treatment unit. It's designed to allow the president to continue to lead the government
even if he needs medical attention.
The president apparently had a good night at the hospital. CBS's Chip Reed explains.
The White House released a statement overnight from the president's doctor saying he is doing well and, quote, that he did not require any supplemental oxygen. The statement also said the president is now being treated with remdesivir, which has shortened the recovery period for some COVID-19 patients.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says he genuinely feels badly for President Trump and the First Lady over their get-through. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says the Biden camp is in the process of pulling its negative campaign ads.
They're spending tens of millions of dollars in about a dozen battleground states, on television, across social media, pushing a message that raises doubts about the president's leadership, not only of the pandemic, but of the economic recovery. That's been the central focus of the Biden campaign. And so, do you keep that up over the next 31 days, or do you have to find some way to shift?
The president and First Lady's illness is causing concern on both Capitol Hill and at the White House. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus explains.
We've seen a number of cases now within staff in the White House and outside the White House, and they're actually going back to video. And you say, who did the president interact with at close distance for a long period of time without a mask? Those people need to be put into quarantine as part of the contact tracing program and tested on a regular basis. Otherwise, they can go out and potentially be asymptomatic and continue to spread the virus.
COVID-19 is on the rise in several states, including Indiana, which lifted most restrictions days ago. It reported a record number of confirmed cases yesterday with just under 1,500. Now to California, where a disturbing milestone will likely be reached: 4 million acres burned by wildfires. But KPIX reporter Kenny Choi tells us things are a little easier for firefighters.
Over the last 24 hours, the winds did not pick up and weren't as strong as initially forecast. That has allowed crews to put in some more control lines and suppress activity in parts of Angwin and Polk Valley.
Nearly 200 homes have been destroyed by the Glass Fire, and 2 major fires that have killed at least 4 people in wine country in the far north are continuing to burn. This is CBS.
Get started online anytime. What's in your wallet? Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Third floor study hall.
My dining room table. Homeroom Monday and Tuesday. My living room Wednesday to Friday.
Wherever school happens for you this year, Staples has amazing prices on everything your student needs. This week, get 20% off copies and prints for school. That's 20% off posters, worksheets, schedules, and reports. Shop in-store or pick up curbside. School on, save on. Staples. Visit staples.com/school printing for coupon. In-store only. Exclusions apply. Ends 10/31. Curbside available in most stores.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Big loss for baseball.
Bob Gibson, the superstar pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, has died following a long battle against pancreatic cancer. In 1968, he had an earned run average of 1.12. He was the National League's most valuable player and Cy Young Award winner as well. His death came on the 52nd anniversary of perhaps his most overpowering performance in Game 1 of the 1968 World Series. He struck out 17 Detroit Tigers. Bob Gibson was 84 years old. Tom Foti, CBS News.
You won't hear any of that cheering when the Preakness goes up this evening. Horses head to the post without fans for the third race in this year's COVID-19 affected Triple Crown at 5:45 Eastern. The race was postponed from its usual May date, where it is the second race in the series, but this year it's happening after both the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont due to the pandemic. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Here's what's happening. Right now, we're currently awaiting the president's physician, Dr. Sean Conley. He's expected to be giving us an update on President Trump's condition. We're monitoring the feed right now, and as soon as he comes on, we'll bring him to you live right here on KCBS. President Trump's hospitalization and treatment are puzzling to many medical experts who say the measures seem extreme for a patient who doesn't seem that sick. KCBS political reporter Doug Sovern says part of the problem is that the White House has not been that forthcoming with detailed information on the president's condition.
UC Berkeley epidemiologist Dr. John Swartzberg, a professor emeritus at the school, of 24 hours after testing positive for the coronavirus.
If you or I were sick with COVID, unless we were quite ill, we wouldn't want to be in the hospital.
Of course, this is the President of the United States, but Swartzberg tells KCBS it still seems odd given the President's appearance and the official description of his symptoms as mild. Swartzberg is also puzzled by the decision to give President Trump an experimental polyclonal antibody cocktail that only 300 very sick patients have gotten before as part of a clinical trial.
One would think this would be reserved for somebody who's really quite ill and you're using something brand new for that person, and how well he appears in terms of at least his ability to walk. So there's something missing in our calculus here, because it doesn't add up that he would be given a drug like this if he's not very sick.
Swartzberg says the president does have significant risk factors, including age, obesity, and high cholesterol. Doug Sovern, KCBS.
Well, the winds have died down this morning, which firefighters are hoping will help them gain the upper hand on the glass fire that continues to burn in Napa and Sonoma counties. CAL FIRE spokesman Scott McLean says the spread of the fire really slowed over the last few days.
We're looking at only 1,000-acre growth over the last day, which is great. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but in this case, it shows that things are starting to slow down as far as the spread, and the firefighters are starting to get some cement in reference to the containment lines taken care of.
He also says they're able to get helicopters up to help fight the fires. So far, the glass fires burned 61,000 acres. Almost 700 structures have been destroyed, including 110 homes and businesses. This morning, the city of Berkeley will be allowing elementary schools to reopen for in-person classes starting on the 13th of this month. As long as the schools meet certain guidelines, schools will have to test students for COVID-19 regularly, in addition to having specific plans for social distancing and isolation. It comes just days after Alameda County made the same announcement that elementary schools in the rest of the county will be allowed to reopen October 13th as well. But Berkeley has a separate public health department and has been moving at a different pace than the rest of the county. Just ahead on KCBS, a local public health official being recognized for being ahead of the curve when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic. And once again, we are monitoring the feed here. The president's physician, Dr. Sean Conley, is expected as we can. For now, though, at 8:08, let's go ahead and get you an update on traffic. For this report, we're heading to Highway 17 with Peter Schofield.
It's in Scotts Valley, Highway 17 southbound at Mount Herman Road, the solo crash, and the CHP has shut down the Mount Herman off-ramp from southbound 17 for probably about another 10 minutes or so, but if you want to avoid it altogether, you could take Granite Creek instead and then south on Scotts Valley Road. In San Jose, the connector from southbound 680 to both directions of 101, that's been shut down as Caltrans needs the space to remove graffiti. It's scheduled to stay shut down Alum Rock to 101. That'll work for getting back to both directions of 101. Or if your plan is southbound 101, you can take King Road to Story Road and then back to 101 from there. The Golden Gate Bridge, Highway 101, it started on the southbound side of the bridge. A pickup truck lost control, hit the center divide barrier, but then ended up on the center divide on the northbound side of the Golden Gate near the South Tower. A tow truck is on the way. I can see traffic getting around it okay, and there is a fog advisory still in effect for the Golden Gate Bridge. Your next traffic update, 8:18 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
We do have some areas, especially along the coast today, where we're going to see some morning fog and overcast. But for the most part, around the Bay Area, hazy sunshine is what's in store today and tomorrow. Temperatures will range from the mid-60s at the beaches and 70s, too, to lower 80s around the Bay, and then possibly up into the mid-90s. But that's well inland, been extended through next Tuesday. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News, 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. KCBS News Time, 8:10. Once again, we are standing by. We're expected to hear from President Trump's personal, and we will be bringing it to you live right here on KCBS. The Bay Area was the first region in the country to issue a stay-at-home order at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and now one local health official is being honored for that. The organization Momentum for Health has been awarding their Shining Star to Santa Clara County Public Health Officer Dr. Sarah Cody. Cody was one of the first doctors in the country to issue a stay-at-home order at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And I don't think that we really recognized at the time that we were doing anything that was so momentous. We were really just focused on what was our job, what was our mission, how could we do it, and we had a sense of urgency, and so we did it.
Dr. Cody added, during the pandemic, it's vital for Americans to pay attention to their mental health. KCBS News Time, 8:12. We'll get you an update on sports, hear how the Lakers did in Game 2 coming up with Steve Bicker.
You're working from home, so how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
Owning Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS 1797976. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions.
Hey, Gary, anything new with you?
Bud, can you believe it? I just crushed my mortgage payment again with Owning. But this is the last refi for me.
Why?
Because I got a 15-year fixed rate at 1.75%, 1.998 APR. Can you believe that?
Get your last mortgage refi from Owning and own your home free and clear in 180 months. Just call 855-5-OWNING or go to owning.com and ask for your last refi at today's 15-year fixed 1.75%, 1.998 APR. That's 15-year fixed at 1.75%, 1.998 APR.
Why not get your last refi from Owning? You just got to call 855-5-OWNING or go to owning.com. That's 855-5-OWNING or go to owning.com.
For all our sakes, we need to avoid crowds as much as possible. But what if you need to go to the post office or mail letters and packages? Whether you're a small business or have a new work-from-home setup, Stamps.com can help. Print postage on demand and never pay full price with access to discounted rates you can't even get at the post office, like 5 cents off every stamp and up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates. Print official U.S. stamps and labels right from your home or office computer for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail's ready, just leave it for your mail carrier, schedule a free package pickup, or drop it off. No human contact required. Right now, listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage.
No, that's impossible!
Don't get.
Shop fall savings at Safeway through October 13th. Shop for groceries and save at the gas pump. Earn 4 times points on your purchase of $10 or more of fall savings items. Look for the tags and enter your phone number at checkout to earn points. Redeem gas rewards at participating Chevron and Texaco stations. No gas gets better mileage than Chevron with Techron and Texaco with Techron gasolines. Pick up items like Cheez-It, Kellogg's Cereal, Hidden Valley Ranch, Coca-Cola, and more. Shop fall savings at Safeway. Going on now. Other restrictions and exclusions apply. Go to Safeway.com/rewards for more information.
With the new iPhone SE for less than $100 at Metro, you rule. It's the most affordable iPhone on the #1 brand in prepaid. So whether you're studying online or FaceTiming.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, dear. The iPhone SE has all you need. Switch to Metro and get the iPhone SE for $99.99 after rebate redemption and 6 months of service with AutoPay. Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day. Limit 1 per account/household. Requires port and ID validation. Not valid for numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
By the city for violating the state's COVID-19 emergency regulations. Among the other players in attendance, Derek Carr and James Witten. The players also in violation of NFL safety regulations, prompting the NFL to send out a sternly worded memo to all teams this week, reminding them of the necessity of wearing masks, particularly at any indoor function, and warning of possible suspensions and or loss of draft picks for coaches who continue to not wear proper face coverings on sidelines. At the sports desk, Steve Bitker, KCBS.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. So much, I'm going to have to speed things up. You can get the claim-free discount, which gives you money off your homeowner's policy if you've been claim-free for 3 consecutive years. Also applies for 3 successive years, 3 years straight, and what's known to insurance fans as the claim-free three-peat. Get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. Start with a quote by calling 1-800-FARMERS.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Now for the legal something.
Not available in every state. Only available with select Farmers branded policies, subject to terms and conditions, underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
It's Dean, and if you're looking for a spooktacular new tradition this fall, look to KiwiCo. KiwiCo has hands-on art and science projects for kids of all ages delivered to your doorstep. With KiwiCo, kids can build a glowing pendulum, create a scratch art lantern, explore kid-friendly chemistry, and more, all from the comfort of home. Everything you need to make STEAM seriously fun, delivered monthly to your doorstep. Get to kiwico.com/local today to save 30% on your first month. That's KIWICO.com/local.
Whenever the news breaks, wherever the news breaks.
There has already been destruction in the Skyhawk neighborhood of Santa Rosa, where several homes have burned to the ground.
You can count on us.
I could see a lot of structural damage, power lines down, power poles burnt up.
KCBS is the only news station broadcasting live around the clock. All news, all the time, right here on KCBS.
And at 8:18, we have some sort of delay this morning in San Jose. What's happening, Peter?
Well, that delay may last until this afternoon. That's the connector from southbound 680 to both directions of 101. That is shut down as Caltrans needs that space to remove graffiti. It's scheduled to stay shut down until 3 o'clock this afternoon. For an alternate, if you're southbound 680, take Alum Rock over to 101. That'll work for getting back to both directions of 101. Or if your plan is southbound 101 from 680, you can take King Road to Story Road and then back to 101 from there. In San Francisco, traffic is moving around okay as I check 101 and 280. If you're leaving the city going to the lower deck of the Bay Bridge, 80 eastbound, that is at the limit from the Central Freeway split across the Skyway and onto the lower deck. If you're coming into San Francisco on the Bay Bridge, 80 westbound, no problem at the toll plaza. In fact, you've got that pretty much all to yourself, and then traffic is at the limit across the span into San Francisco. Your next traffic update, 8:28 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
And the KCBS 6-day forecast calling for hazy sunshine today and tomorrow with temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Starting on Monday, a little bit cooler, inland high temperatures topping out in the low 80s, mostly in the upper 60s and 70s around the bay. Tuesday through Friday, partly cloudy skies through the end of the week, foggy conditions along the coast. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News, 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. KCBS News Time, 8:19. The White House says President Trump is being given several forms of treatment for COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. One of them is an experimental antibody cocktail developed by Regeneron, and some of the research into that treatment is being done right here in Northern California. For more now, we're joined on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by Dr. Tim Albertson, chair of the UC Davis Department of Internal Medicine and a specialist in pulmonary and critical care medicine who's leading that research. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
So, Doctor, how does the Regeneron antibody combination actually work?
Well, it's two monoclonal antibodies. One of them is designed to attack the spike protein on the coronavirus, that sort of corona around that virus that you see on those pictures. And that spike is used to inject the virus into the cell using the angiotensin II receptor. So you put a monoclonal antibody on that, you block the receptor interaction and thus prevent replication. There's a second monoclonal antibody that attacks another part of the virus. It's designed to kill the virus. So it's a cocktail because it's two monoclonal antibodies mixed together attacking the same Corona-19 virus.
So we've heard repeatedly, at least I have, that the results look promising. What has to happen in order for something like this to look promising?
Yeah, this is being looked at in a number of clinical trials simultaneously. One group of those trials is an outpatient trial where patients who begin to have symptoms of coronavirus were given the medication, and that data was released Tuesday, in preliminary data, showing improvement in the outcomes of those patients. We're primarily looking at inpatients who are sick enough to be admitted to the hospital, and we have a second study that one of our infectious disease doctors is doing, looking at patients exposed to other people with coronavirus, so a prophylaxis approach.
So would it be, and yet we keep hearing repeatedly that he only has mild symptoms, yet was admitted to Walter Reed. Is this something that is kind of surprising to you, that the doctor would be, that the president would be receiving an experimental drug?
It's unique. It's not common, and presumably it was done under compassionate use, which is the only other way, other than a clinical trial, you can get a drug legally in the United States with that has not been approved by the FDA. So I would assume that he got it under compassionate use from the company at the request of his physicians. I have no inside information on that.
Sure. What else is it, doctor, that you feel as if people should know specifically about this antibody cocktail?
Well, I think it's one of the many drugs that we're currently testing in the hope that we can find a combination of therapies that will work against the COVID virus. Right now, we have 2 approved drugs that seem to have good clinical efficacy, and that is remdesivir and the old drug Decadron, both of which are given to patients in the clinical trials who are sick enough to qualify for the Regeneron treatment in the inpatient world. So it's a very exciting time, and it's a very concerning time to try to tease out therapies, and which therapy at what point in which patient is really the key component we're trying to find.
So once again, though, in your opinion, with Regeneron, it's typically something that wouldn't be used unless someone was pretty sick.
Yes, but there is a trial looking at it in terms of prophylaxis. So if you've just been exposed, if somebody in your studio announced yesterday they were positive, you all would be potential candidates to receive the drug prophylactically to see if it blocks the development of COVID in one of the trials. So it's used in both sick patients and potentially in one clinical trial to prevent the spread of COVID.
Doctor, thanks so much for joining us. That was Dr. Tim Albertson with UC Davis's Medical Center. He's the internal medicine chair. We're on to your money news now on KCBS.
Twitter is changing its policy, and that might mean a little light reading for you. I'm Brian Van Miller on Business. In June, Twitter began testing a prompt known as read the article before you retweet it. The prompt shows up if you try to retweet a story you have not yet clicked on to read. According to The Verge, Twitter says it wants to help promote informed discussion. As anyone who uses the internet knows, headlines can be misleading and often used as clickbait. Twitter says encouraging people to read the article they're sharing is a way to stop some spreading of misinformation. Since testing the prompt in June, Twitter's reporting that people are reading articles 40% more often after seeing the message. In some cases, people ended up not retweeting the article after reading it. This isn't the only feature being tested. The social media company is also testing something that would warn a user before they send something offensive. All this comes as social media companies are under fire for the content on their platforms. But maybe it's the users that are the real problem. Brian Van Miller, CBS News.
As parents, you're also referees, teachers, coaches, chauffeurs, and more. Stanford Children's Health makes accessing world-class pediatric care convenient. And with virtual visits, you can see a pediatrician or specialist from home, which means you can take chauffeur off your list too. To schedule a virtual visit or find a location near you, visit StanfordChildren's.org. Stanford Children's Health. Access to excellence.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We're looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard to make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at Amazon.com.
Wildfire season is here. Learn about PG&E's Community Wildfire Safety Program and what every Californian should know to stay safe by listening to Preparing for Public Safety Power Shutoff. Listen to this podcast at radio.com/wildfire.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. So much, I'm going to have to speed things up. You can get the Farmers Signal app, and that could get you up to 15% off your auto policy. That's just for using it by calling 1-800-FARMERS.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Now for the legal something.
Not available in every state and discount varies. Only available with select Farmers branded policies. Subject to terms and conditions. Underwritten by Farmers Truck and Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
It's Jane, and if you're looking for a spooktacular new tradition this fall, look to KiwiCo. KiwiCo has hands-on art and science projects for kids of all ages delivered to your doorstep. With KiwiCo, kids can build a planetarium, sculpt papier-mâché masks, explore kid-friendly physics, and more, all from the comfort of home. Everything you need to make STEAM seriously fun, delivered monthly to your doorstep. Get to kiwico.com/local today to save 30% on your first month. That's KIWICO.com/local.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Donate your car today with 1-877 Cars for Kids. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Remember, that's Cars with a K.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
And at 8:28 with a check of traffic for this report, we're turning to Peter Schofield. He has apparently some details about the roadwork in San Jose.
That's right, Jennifer. This could be an unpleasant surprise if you're southbound 680 in San Jose, planning on either north or southbound 101 at the interchange there. The connector ramps from southbound 680 to both directions of 101 are shut down right at the interchange until 3 o'clock this afternoon as Caltrans works on graffiti removal. I'm not seeing any backup at the closure, but it's likely that will change as the hours tick by. For an alternate from southbound 680, take Alum Rock back to 101. If you missed Alum Rock, you can take King Road to either Alum Rock or to Story Road and then back to 101 from there. But I can see that some of you who missed the alternates altogether were forced onto northbound 280 and you're getting off at 10th Street and then turning back to southbound 280 to get back to 101 from there. So it's going to mess up a lot of people between now and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Your next traffic update, 8:38 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
On the KCBS Bay Area weather forecast, calling for hazy sunshine today after morning fog and overcast with only partial clearing expected at the beaches today. High temperatures ranging from the mid-60s and 70s to low tomorrow, sunny with continuing patchy smoke and haze. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News, 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Owning Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS 1797976. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions.
Hey, Gary, anything new with you?
Bud, can you believe it? I just crushed my mortgage